For some people, saying no is easy. They know when they are tired. They know when they need time for themselves. And when they don't want to do something, they can simply say no. But for Emma, it was never that easy. Emma was the kind of person who always wanted everyone to be happy. At work, she said yes when her coworkers needed help. With her friends, she always went to the restaurant they chose. When someone asked her to change her plans, she usually did it. If someone looked unhappy, Emma immediately wondered if she had done something wrong. People often described her as kind, helpful, and easy to be around. And Emma liked hearing those words. But there was something nobody knew. She was tired. Very tired. Her story began with small things. One Monday morning, a coworker asked Emma to help with a report. Emma already had a lot of work to finish. She looked at the clock. She knew she would have to stay late if she helped. But her coworker looked worried. So Emma smiled and said yes. That evening, she stayed at the office until almost 8. On Tuesday, a friend asked her to go shopping after work. Emma had planned to stay home and rest. She had been looking forward to a quiet evening. But her friend said she really needed someone to go with her. So Emma changed her plans. On Wednesday, another coworker asked her to cover a small task. On Thursday, her friends changed their weekend plans. Emma had already made other plans, but everyone else wanted to do something different. So she changed her plans again. By Friday evening, Emma felt exhausted. She went home, took off her shoes, and sat on the sofa. Her apartment was quiet. For a moment, she felt relieved. Then her phone rang. A friend was asking if Emma could help her with something the next morning. Emma looked at the message. Her first feeling was tiredness. Her second feeling was guilt. She wanted to say no. But then she imagined her friend's disappointed face. So she typed, "Sure, no problem." After sending the message, Emma put her phone down. She stared at the wall. She suddenly wondered, when did I become someone who is always available for everyone? She didn't have an answer. The next morning, Emma met her friend. Everything was fine. Her friend was happy. But Emma was quiet. She realized something uncomfortable. She had spent so much time making other people comfortable that she had forgotten to ask herself one simple question. What do I want? She began thinking about all the small choices she had made during the past few years. The restaurants she didn't choose. The movies she didn't watch. The weekends she didn't spend resting. The work she took from other people. The messages she answered even when she was tired. The times she smiled and said, "It's okay," when it wasn't really okay. None of these things seemed important by themselves. But together, they had become her life. And Emma began to understand something. She wasn't always saying yes because she wanted to help. Sometimes, she was saying yes because she was afraid. Afraid that people would think she was selfish. Afraid that her friends would be angry. Afraid that her coworkers would dislike her. Afraid that if she stopped being helpful, people might stop needing her. That thought stayed with her for a long time. Then, one afternoon, something small happened at work. A coworker came to her desk and asked if Emma could help with a task. Emma looked at her own computer. She had an important deadline that day. Normally, she would have said yes immediately. But this time, she took a breath. She looked at her coworker and said, "I'm sorry, I can't today. I have to finish my own work." It was only one sentence. But after saying it, Emma felt strange. She expected something bad to happen. Her coworker might become angry. Maybe she would think Emma was unkind. Maybe everything would change. But nothing happened. Her coworker simply said, "Okay. Maybe I'll ask someone else." Then she walked away. Emma sat quietly at her desk. She almost laughed. She had spent years being afraid of a moment that was not even a problem. That evening, Emma went home on time. She did not stay late. She did not help anyone. She made herself dinner and watched a movie she had wanted to see for weeks. It felt good. But it also felt a little uncomfortable. Emma realized that learning to say no was not easy for someone who had spent years saying yes. So she started slowly. She didn't become a completely different person. She still helped her friends. She still cared about her coworkers. She still wanted the people around her to be happy. But she began to understand the difference between being kind and always trying to please everyone. Being kind meant helping someone when she could. People-pleasing meant helping someone even when she was hurting herself. Being kind meant listening to others. People-pleasing meant staying silent because she was afraid of disagreement. Being kind meant caring about people. People-pleasing meant believing that their happiness was her responsibility. Little by little, Emma started choosing herself too. Sometimes she said no. Sometimes she asked for what she wanted. Sometimes she told her friends that she was too tired to go out. Sometimes she let someone be disappointed. And that was the hardest part. She learned that saying no did not make everyone happy. Some people were surprised. A few people were even unhappy. But Emma slowly realized that this was okay. Because other people's disappointment was not always a sign that she had done something wrong. Sometimes, it simply meant that they had wanted something from her, and she had chosen not to give it. That did not make her a bad person. One Friday evening, Emma met her closest friends for dinner. Someone asked where they should eat. In the past, Emma would have said, "Anywhere is fine." But this time, she smiled and said, "I'd really like to try the little Italian place near my house." Her friends agreed. It was such a small thing. But Emma felt proud. Not because she had chosen the restaurant, but because she had finally let her own voice be heard. On her way home that night, Emma thought about the person she used to be. She still loved being kind. She still wanted to help people. She still cared deeply about the people in her life. She had not become colder. She had simply stopped disappearing inside other people's needs. And she finally understood something she wished she had learned much earlier. You are not responsible for making everyone happy. You can be kind without saying yes to everything. You can love your friends and still have boundaries. You can help people without forgetting yourself. And sometimes, someone may be disappointed with you. That does not mean you are a bad person. It only means you are a person with your own needs, your own limits, and your own life. Emma no longer asked herself, "What can I do to make everyone happy?" Instead, she started asking, "What can I do today without forgetting myself?" And that question changed her life. Because you do not have to be the easiest person to love. You do not have to be the most helpful person in the room. You do not have to say yes every time someone asks. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to say no. You are allowed to choose yourself. Being a good person does not mean giving everything you have to everyone else. Sometimes, being kind to others begins with learning to be kind to yourself.